Welcome to another Card Fee Service podcast. And today's podcast is about young carers. Did you know anything about young carers? I didn't. And today I have learned everything that I need to know. So, whether you are washing dishes, on a bus, whatever you are doing, just stay tuned and enjoy our podcast. Yes, welcome to our podcast. This is our anonymous guest, and I'm gonna ask you to tell me a little bit about your story. So this podcast it is all about story.
I am 16, just come out of high school. It was a very difficult time for me. I'm a young carer, so I care for my two parents, my mum and my dad.
Alright.
My mum had a stroke last year in October,
Yes.
so that's been difficult for me to step up and do most of the things in the house. With my dad, I've took care of my dad since I was 13 as he's very ill.
Yes.
And yeah,
So I'm just gonna ask you to tell me to go back in your early age. Like, what's the first memory like?
well, my family are like very big on like celebrations, like Christmas and birthdays.
Okay.
So one of like the biggest memories I can think of is like, because we did like birthday parties and like stuff like that. So we would like, for one of my sisters, we did a pirate themed, I think it was like Disney like type, and we roasted a pig, like a full-on pig. So that is like one of the memories that I can like think of like off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Though, do you wanna explain to me what young carers is? Because there is a lot of people who doesn't even have a clue what it is.
For someone who is a young carer, for me, it's like to take care of someone, or it could be someone that you don't know, and it's like a job. Or with me, it's my parents, so I just like take care of them, do like chores in the house, and go shopping with my dad, and do stuff like that. As with my mum having a stroke last year, it was like I was doing my GCSEs because it was in October. It was kind of difficult because I wanted to stay at home, wanted to just be with my mum and dad like full time, like have my education, do my exams. It was quite difficult as I knew they were at home struggling, trying to do stuff that they weren't capable of doing or had hard times trying to do. So it was like I wanted to be home, didn't want to be at school because school wasn't the place I wanted to be in anyway, as I got bullied for being part of the LGBTQ community. So it was like kind of hard being there anyway.
Can you tell me what kind of skills do you have to learn to be a young carer?
Time management is one of the big ones that I've learned like since being 13, as my mum and dad have to have medication and a lot of medication. Time management, to have it at the right time on the right day, that's like something that you had to be specific on point with.
Of course. All right. So, what kind of stuff you know how to cook?
Mostly everything. Like
Everything.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Well, me and my dad, we cooked together since I was like really young.
That's
so
amazing. Yeah.
I know like all of his recipes that he has.
There is any like family secret recipe or something like that?
I wouldn't say that it's secret because like anyone can like do it their own way. Because cooking's just cooking, and it's like.
What kind of cooker you are? You are those cooker who follow the recipe by step, or it's just on a looking like?
It's just it's just like estimating like what to put in, like because if it goes wrong or something, you just like put spices in it or something else.
You can correct it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I like that. It's just like me as well. I love cook as well, but I can't follow the recipe. Like every time I try to follow the recipe, it doesn't work. So what other stuff you had to learn, like cooking, yes, time management?
Cooking and time management is like the main things because like we're a family of 6.
Yeah.
I have 3 siblings. So it's like a lot of people have to be fed.
Yeah.
And like it's a lot of responsibility.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So how good you are at cooking?
I wouldn't say I'm the best, but
Who's the best? Your dad will never hear this podcast. Who's the best? You or your dad?
my dad, 100%.
Good. So Christmas dinners then is like a massive thing. How long do you normally cook on a Christmas?
My dad does most of it, but
Yes.
I'm
Like the
hoping
full
to
day.
like stand up and do like some of it this year.
Yeah.
But like last year, we had to like move the house around as my mum had the stroke. And so my mum and dad went from upstairs to in the dining room.
Yeah.
So we had to have our food on our laps.
All right,
So that was like a different,
Yeah.
like,
different way to.
yeah, that was like a different way to have food. Because we would normally have Christmas at the table.
Yes.
And so this year we're having it out the back in our garden.
Oh,
and we've
okay.
got this gazebo that we're going to put
look
up.
at that.
And yeah, it's going to be like old times, which will
Yes.
be really good.
Okay. So going a little bit back, when your mom had a stroke, so did you have to deal with any kind of like mental health, any kind of depression?
Yeah, it was like really hard for like me to see my mum because like I think of my mum like my best friend.
Yeah.
And
That's amazing.
my dad would say the same thing, like it's like his best friend, like, and his best friend is now in quotes broken.
Yeah.
So my dad actually bought in quotes a new best friend as my dog, well, his dog. So, but yeah, mental health was like a really, because obviously he was in COVID as well. So that was like really difficult.
Oh, yes, I can imagine. So how did you deal with it?
Mainly speaking up and talking to people who care.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
like, because I'm really close to my family, like my cousins and all. So it was like, it was quite easy to like deal with it. But I still have it now. I have anxiety, depression, and day-to-day things are quite difficult for me.
Yes.
But I try and get through it.
And you're gonna get through, of course.
Yeah.
Come on. So how did you come across into Cardiff Youth Service?
My brother
Yes.
was volunteering for Gofalwr. That was in the summer.
Yeah.
And then I volunteered the next week because I wanted to like see what it was about.
Yes.
And see if I wanted to like, because I didn't know what I wanted to do like after school. So it was like an opportunity to see
Yes.
like what it was about and see if I liked what it was.
Yes.
And I plan on applying for the apprenticeship this
Okay.
term
Yes.
and seeing like if I get through and seeing if I can like take that as like a career.
Yes. So what's, let's say, your biggest dream? Like your biggest job dream or something like that?
I'm very into like makeup and stuff.
Art.
So yeah. So doing something with like the beauty community or
Yes.
something like that
All right.
would be like my dream
Cool.
job. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Have you thought of any job title or something like that? You know, sometimes they are too fancy, but they mean the same thing, exactly the same thing. you have like, for example, creative design, which is design.
Mm-hmm.
You have like a lot of yes, basically like designers, for example, interior designers.
Mm-hmm.
All they do is like shape and make everything that is inside beautiful.
Yeah.
So yes, sometimes the name scare a lot of people, but they doesn't know that they actually do it
Yeah.
already. Yes, there is a lot of other jobs related with art that I can see you related with.
Yeah.
So have you
Um,
done anything like that in Gofalwr, for example, like related with beauty and makeup and stuff?
we did a night where we did like nails and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like something I'm interested in, like acrylics and stuff like that. But that's it,
Yeah.
I think.
How was your experience as like a volunteer in Gofalwr?
I enjoyed it to
Yeah.
like see what it was like and to get that like bond with young people. It
Yeah.
was like, because I knew some of them were still, no, I can't speak. I knew some of them already.
All right.
Because obviously they were in my community and
Yes.
I knew them
It's part of it,
already
yeah, yeah.
through primary and high school.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, it was good to like see people I already knew and had a bond with already.
So it was almost like a place in a community where you can meet
Yeah.
all each other and have fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's talk about life after school, because you experienced how was like when you knew that, oh, I'm leaving school right now to be a young carer. How did you felt? It was like
I felt quite like, I don't know.
did you have like that strange feeling that, oh, I am released, or you felt like, oh yes, I'm leaving something that I know it will be like hard for me in the future to get back or something like that?
No, I thought, because of volunteering, I thought that it was like something that I really wanted to do and that I enjoyed volunteering in the summer.
Yes.
So knowing that I want to do that as like a career,
Mm-hmm.
being like out of school and not knowing what I wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
it was like quite a relief because
You see something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. And like, do you thinking in to do like something in the future, like related with uni and what you are doing right now, or this is all you want to do?
I think this is all I want to do. Yeah.
Yes, but you know there is like more than that.
Yeah.
You got like you can go to uni, like
Yeah.
doing youth in social work or youth in community work.
Yeah.
You know, you can try to be probably youth mentor, youth support work. There is youth support worker, youth mentor, senior. There is a lot of other posts that you can keep growing and to help the community. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff you have in mind to help like the community, for example?
I want to do a lot of stuff through like mental health because
Okay.
being someone who's gone through mental health and is still going through mental health, having young people know about mental health without it seeming like a phase or like something you should be ashamed about is
Yeah.
like,
It's still a taboo in between young people, isn't it?
yeah,
Like I remember when I was younger, like I never heard nobody talking about mental health or anything like that. It's, as you say, it was like a shame. People feel like it's a taboo. No one wants to talk about it, but everyone probably had it, isn't it, at some
Yeah.
point. So, do you have more friends with social anxiety or depression or anything like that?
yeah, I do. I have a lot of friends who suffer with depression and anxiety, and people find it difficult to speak up about it and like try and understand it in a way.
Yeah.
And I want to teach people how to like go through it and not go through it, but like
Yeah, ways.
like how to cope with it if you do have it.
Yeah. All right. So, what kind of tips you give to your friends, for example?
With social anxiety, it's like
Mm-hmm.
they're afraid of like what people think of them.
Mm-hmm.
So the main thing is to just be yourself
Yes.
and just to be yourself and make sure that you don't fake who you are or
Yeah.
like pretend who you are so someone likes you or
Mm-hmm.
you get approval of someone else.
Yes. You know, with the COVID and isolation and everything, social anxiety, depression, all those kind of mental health, you see, they amplified during
Yeah.
the lockdown. So, what do you think, for example, the society need to do to try to help out,
I think
for us to help each other, actually?
I think society has changed a lot through lockdown as everyone was on their phones, uploading to social media, doing TikTok, Instagram, Facebook,
Yes.
just the normal. But society is like, they haven't put a good like view on it because with body positivity it's like different as there's society makes it look like there's only one body type where there's not, and everyone is different in their own way
Yes.
with skin color, body type, like conditions and stuff. Being able, disabled is like so different.
Yes. And we all have to understand each other, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So talking about that, you said to me that you are part of the LGBTQ. So how did you, I'm not going to say how did you all start, but when did you realize you're,
I realised really young. I was in
Yeah.
year 7, so like 13,
okay.
14.
Yes.
I didn't know how to deal with it, so I would tell like a couple friends who I thought were my friends who they weren't like supportive about it, so I had to like figure a way to make them feel like it's not something that I should be judged on, it's something just normal.
Yes.
But I've lost a lot of friends by
Because of
being
that.
by being part of the LGBTQ.
Ah, that doesn't make sense, yeah. Okay. So as soon as you told those friends, so it was a kind of bullying that started
Yeah.
with them. So how they started? Like I don't even know how to phrase it, like because it doesn't make any sense, isn't it?
It doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
But it's like slurs were used and it was mostly slurs, but like I didn't know how to cope with it, so
Which is normal.
yeah.
You were only 13, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like young, and to know something like that at such a young age is like you want to tell people because that's who you are,
Yes.
and it's like you don't know how to like not be yourself,
Yes.
and it was like quite difficult to see people looking at me away
Yes.
like I was different, because I'm different as
We
I
are
have
all- yeah.
different like hair color to most people,
Yeah.
as I'm ginger. So it was like I didn't know how to cope with
Yeah.
it.
But that's normal. Like you are 13, is the beginning age, or being a teenager, you are discovering who you are.
Yeah.
Like personality wise, body wise, everything's changing. Like having other people outside being a bully is not like the best to have at that point, isn't it? So, for example, what would you advise at someone who are going through the same thing you've been before?
As I said earlier, be yourself. That's like the main key thing to like give advice is like be yourself, and to be yourself is good enough. It's like, yeah.
Okay, so how would you advise a young carers that they are starting to be a young carers right now, but they are feeling lost in that feeling of, yes.
I would say speak to people, because at the start I felt like I couldn't express my feelings. Like if I was upset, I would have to suppress it and like make sure that other people are okay before I like showed my emotions. But speak like what you feel, and like, yeah, just be yourself, and speak is the main thing.
Yes. And what would you say to your dad right now in terms of cooking? Do you think you will overtake him one day?
Yeah, I think I will. I've got most of my cooking talent from him, so mostly will overtake him.
Yeah, all right. Dad, you gotta be careful. That's good. So, how are you feeling right now after all of this?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
You have never done anything like this, is it?
No, I have not done anything like this before.
Is it weird, like hear your voice and stuff like that?
Yeah,
or?
a little bit.
Yes, a lot of people like, they say that it is weird listening to their voice because they've never listened it like this, but yeah.
It's different because like a video is like, it's not as high tech as like a microphone and hearing it in headphones, as in like recording yourself on like Snapchat and hearing your voice back. It's so different.
Yeah. Is this something that you'd see yourself doing more often, or?
I didn't think so like 2 years ago, but with the experience now of doing it first time, probably.
Okay, so probably very soon we'll have someone on the other side. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope you'll enjoy it. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.